Today, I have a very special guest with me on the podcast. She is popularly known as Mad at Woman.
Thank you so much for having me.
When did you switch from being an agency employee to starting your own agency?
I come from a business family. It was always ingrained in my head that apna business apna hi hota hai. This job thing can't go on so long. There is no work. I get very bored. I started freelancing.
How did this word or how did this name was coined, Mad at Woman?
I get this question a lot, okay? And everyone thinks that there is a very profound story. But the actual story was
And how did this name came for the agency, Red in the White?
red, blue, and green. These three lights come together to make white. My entire idea is red is 1/3 of white, and my agency is 1/3 of the business.
What was the point in time when you felt it कि Mad at Woman को grow करना है?
There was actually no moment. Zakir Khan said it where he said, इतने तो मैंने सपने देखे हुए नहीं थे जितने पूरे हो गए. Brands started coming, batches started happening, and then this became like a business without me knowing or planning it like a business.
Some of your content has gone viral because of the kind of boldness you've shown in this content. So how do you get that courage?
Bad comments don't affect me. At the same time, good comments also don't affect me. So if you say I'm a great creator, I will not believe you. If you say I'm a shit creator, I will not believe you.
What is one thing you're still figuring out?
I think I need to be at more peace with myself.
So what's your advice to somebody who is also building their personal brand and the agency at the same time?
If you are involved in both, दोनों सफर करेंगे.
वेलकम टू द विकास अग्रवाल शो, जहां हम बुलाते हैं क्रिएटर्स, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स एंड एक्सपर्ट्स को जो अपनी रियल लाइफ स्टोरीज एंड एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करते हैं ताकि आप अपनी लाइफ में जल्दी ग्रो कर पाएं उनके सक्सेस मंत्रास के साथ.
Hello and welcome to the Vikas Agarwal show. Today I have a very special guest with me on the podcast. She is popularly known as Mad at Woman. Also, she is the founder of Red in the White branding agency. So her name is Pranita Bajoria. Thank you for coming to the show, Pranita.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first of all, I have a question to you. How did this word or how did this name was coined, Mad at Woman?
So like everyone, I get this question a lot, okay? And everyone thinks that there is a very profound story that मैं बहुत सोच समझ के कुछ किया है because I also do naming projects. But the actual story was my friend and I were at a brunch, okay? And we're sitting across each other. And you know those bottles, those glass bottles that come? So there is a glass bottle and on top of that, like, you know, there is a steel ka this thing which goes like this. So those glass bottles were very trendy at that point. Every cafe had that in Bombay, okay? So those are kept. There are two bottles kept. One has as a goal embossing over it.
Okay.
And one is a plain one, okay? The waiter came in. He kept both the bottles. My friend and I both looked at each other and we were like, condoms, dotted condoms. And immediately we were like, we need to make an ad for Durex. Took a few pictures. I'm making like faces and, you know, doing expressions and everything. While going home on the auto ride, like in the auto ride, we were like, okay, what do I name this thing? Because I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I was like, what do I name this thing? And then immediately this one name just stuck, Mad at Woman. And that it just came as a spark. And then after that, we tried on a lot of names where I was like, should I do this? Should I do like advertising woman? Should I do like, or should we do like mad about advertising? But then it was becoming too close to mad over marketing. So then we were like, you know what? Mad at Woman sounds the best. And then I also asked my friends, they were like, that's the best description that you can give to yourself. So that's how Mad at Woman came. And then much later, I realized that it's very catchy. In my head, it was just something that sounded cool at the time.
Got it. Makes sense. I think this whole podcast was also born like from a universe's trigger. And I think that your name, which you got from Mad at Woman, was again a universal trigger only. And that turned out to be a whole brand out there now. And how did this name came for the agency, Red in the White?
Okay, so that is very interesting. So Red in the White, before that, I was going to name the agency Cut the Crap. Okay. Because at that point I was very clear on the idea that I wanted a name which is very no BS, which is very like when the client hears it, they know that this is a bold agency. That was my like idea of communication. Cut the Crap already existed. Thank God for that.
Okay.
Which is why it's not called Cut the Crap right now. Red in the White, basically I was studying theory of light. So red, blue and green. These three lights come together to make white light. Okay. So my entire idea is red is 1/3 of white and my agency is 1/3 of the business that you run. So for example, if you are a client, my agency is 1/3 of that. So
Got
one
it.
is your passion for making it big. Second is your passion for whatever you're doing that you like doing. And third is what I bring to the table. So that's how Red in the White came in as a name. And interestingly, this was a conversation starter for a long time. Like, I think for the first 1.5 years of running the agency, this is where the conversation broke the ice. Like, this conversation broke the ice. Ki, what is Red in the White? And then immediately the client was like, oh, that's very thoughtful. That is nice. And then the conversation went always went in a positive direction because of that.
Got it. Makes sense. Even my brand name is Mentor Success Partner. So we are also like I say 50-50 partnership in what
Yeah.
you do. So I help majorly coaches out there. So my thing is ki, like we are a partner in your making your business big. So that's how my name is
Yeah.
very short. Although it's like from the backfire also that I can't go to another industry out
Correct.
there because I'm specific to mentors industry.
Correct.
But also it helps when I have to close mentors out there as my clients. They know that this person won't go to another industry
Correct,
because
correct.
so niche
Niched
market
up.
out
Huh.
there. What was the point in time when you felt कि Mad at Women को grow करना है? That was you felt कि this is the moment I want to make it big.
There was actually no moment.
Okay.
So ये जो भी हो रहा है ना, I think Zakir Khan said it in one of his specials where he said इतने तो मैंने सपने देखे भी नहीं थे जितने पूरे हो गए. With this, there was no thought process. So Mad at Women basically started as I write ads. Okay, I was working in a big agency where I wasn't seeing those ads being published.
Oh.
And that was eating me up because I was like, मैं इतना काम कर रही हूँ और वो बाहर ही नहीं जा रहे हैं. तो what if I become my own distribution? ये बाहर इसलिए नहीं जा रहा because there are levels of hierarchy through which the work has to go and then the client has to say yes because they are paying the money. What if I take the money aspect out of it? What if I just make ads? And spec ads were not a thing back then when I started like this 4-5 years ago.
Sorry to cut you, but what is the meaning of spec ad?
So spec ad is basically a speculative ad that you take a brand, you make an ad for them. Brand का इससे कोई लेना देना नहीं है, आपसे brand का कोई लेना देना नहीं है.
Okay.
Brand ने आपको ना पैसे दिए हैं, ना आपको कोई brief मिली है, कुछ नहीं है. Today you look at a plant and then you say ये plant जो company बेचती है मैं इसके लिए ad बनाऊंगा and you put it up.
Okay.
So it's entirely on you. You're just doing it to show your creativity. That's how it started. Then lockdown happened. During the lockdown, I created a lot of content at that point where like there were because at that point moment marketing became a very big thing for brands. One, every brand wanted to be online. Second, moment marketing became a thing because anything that was on the news was suddenly national news. So generally abhi kya hota hai, right? Abhi, for example, something happens in cricket, right? There is a section of the audience that knows about it. There is a section of the audience that has no idea about it. Correct? During the lockdown, if the Prime Minister has said that I'm going to come on camera and give a speech at 8 p.m., that is a national news that each and every person knows. Right? So at that point, when I started capturing those moments and being like, I will create content on this, that's when this content started growing.
Got it.
Once that happened, people started reaching out कि आप जो कर रहे हो वो सिखा सकते हो क्या? Took a few workshops. My first workshop was I think $4.99 or something. Took a few workshops and I was like, oh, I enjoy doing this. This is good fun. Brands started coming. Batches started happening. And then this became like a business without me knowing or planning it like a business. Like, जब ये business बन गया, तब I was like, okay, now I have to figure something out and, hire a manager and, put more structure into this. So it wasn't a moment where I was like, this is what I'm going to do with it. Right now also, most of the things just happen from the perspective of, it's fun for me now. So I'm doing it right now. If it's not fun for me tomorrow, I will not do it. Because the luxury that I have with this is not my bread and butter.
Right.
My bread and butter is the agency.
Yeah.
Right. So the agency works on its own fine with all the great people that we have in the team. Here, I'm supposed to have fun. Here, I do things for fun.
Got it. It's like if passion does not pay, it becomes poison. And if
Yes.
it pays, it is the best thing which can happen for
Correct.
you. So I think Mad at Women is more like a passion project for
Passion
you.
project.
And
yes.
Red in the White is the more your bread and butter and everything out
Yes.
there. So I had a follow-up question on this. When did you left your job? Because you said you worked in an agency. when did you switch from being an agency employee to starting your own agency, and did Married Women happen first or Red in the White happen first, or they happened simultaneously?
Okay, so I always knew कि मेरे को agency खोलना है.
Okay.
I knew कि मेरे को this is the path that, like, even when I was working in agencies, I knew कि this is the path that I want to take.
Okay.
Finally, this is what has to be achieved. I come from a business family. It was always ingrained in my head that अपना business अपना ही होता है. Right? So I knew that धंधा तो करना है. This job thing can't go on for long. The last job that I quit, after that I went to the client side. From the agency side to the client side, I worked in a brand for about 4 months.
Okay.
4 months mein I was like, I can't do this. There is no work. I get very bored, and this is not fun for me. I left it. I started freelancing. So I was like, with the job only, I had some freelance clients. Then I started like doubling down on those freelancing clients and just being like, can you refer me to someone? Cold DMing people saying, can I handle your profile? Stuff like that. Once all of that happened, I shifted to full-time freelancing. COVID mein, I was freelancing full-time.
Okay.
I was back home with my parents and I was freelancing full-time. Married Woman का तब I was like, अब मेरे पास कोई excuse नहीं है. Like throughout I was like, मेरे को client का काम करना है इसलिए मैं content नहीं बना पा रही हूँ. But now there is no excuse. मेरे पास 24 घंटे कुछ नहीं है करने के लिए. So I was like, need to make content. Right? Started making content. While making content only, it was like, now we can launch the agency also because I have the time to put into branding of the agency, the naming, all of that, the time that it would take. Otherwise, there is no hurry also क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया रुकी हुई है. You know, it felt like सब कुछ रुका हुआ है, and in Bombay, it always felt like सब भाग रहे हैं. But this was one time where I felt like सब कुछ रुका हुआ है. I have all the time in the world. There is no hurry. आज नहीं होगा, कल हो जाएगा. कल नहीं होगा, परसों हो जाएगा. कोई जल्दी नहीं है. That's when the agency got launched, and that's when both of them started working in tandem together. Where when I was putting more time in the agency, this suffered. When I was putting more time here, this suffered. So that started happening. Started hiring more team members. So that kept becoming better. As soon as that happened, my team now takes care of everything in Red in the White. I'm the creative director there.
Oh. Okay.
So if a client has a problem, I'm not the first person to be called. There are people in the team who will be called first. Escalations come to me. So there are clients in the agency right now who I would speak to once in 6 months.
Oh, nice.
And those conversations are also not about work. Like they're just chatty conversations. कि आपकी जिंदगी में क्या चल रहा है, हमारी जिंदगी में क्या चल रहा है, how have we been, etc. Because work is being handled. So they don't have a problem at the work level. But if they want to, for example, open a new brand, they will come to me. If they want to get like a menu screen done, if they want to get like a brochure done, then they know that the team is well equipped enough to handle it, and it's going to Pranita. Creative direction she is doing. So anything that comes to us comes through her only. But she doesn't need to be. So they have started understanding that कि या तो मैं calls पे रह सकती हूँ, या मैं behind the scenes काम कर सकती हूँ. तो now they have made peace with the fact कि आप behind the scenes हमारा संभाल लो, calls पे हर call पे नहीं भी आओगे तो चल जाएगा.
Got it. And I think this is the shift which personal branding agencies need to take at a point, because one of my mentors says कि ना client only cares about the result. It doesn't matter who is taking care of it. In the end, what they matter is the quality of the result you're promising, whether it's done by you or done by your team.
Yes.
So that is there. Even I'm in the process of switching it right now, and I'm going through the same situation right now. So last 30 days, I think 32 days almost now, I'm traveling, and I'm the one who's the client. Well, मेरे तो escalation में सारे client मेरे पास आते हैं पहले. Then the work goes to my team. So I'm the one who is the face, who is the accounts, marketing, sales, सब कुछ I am the one. And the thing is कि I'm also facing the same challenge कि right now कि clients are watching, he's putting a lot of stories. Is he working or not? Even my friends, families, everybody is like कि ये मस्ती मारने निकल गया.
ये
काम नहीं कर रहा है. So for that, I actually shot one short clip in Taj in Ahmedabad. One of my friend came, a good friend of school time, he came in and he asked me, भाई काम धंधा छोड़ दिया क्या? You pivoted your business model? मैंने नहीं भाई, सब कुछ same चल रहा है. Just started his content. वो मिर्जापुर का dialogue है ना, शुरू मजबूरी में क्या था, मजा आ रहा है. So then we shot a reel there. Tripod टूट गया था. हमने वहाँ पे फोन रखा, वो जो भी टेबल सी थी. And then he asked me the same question. हमने 2 मिनट का reel बनाया and raw. I'm just dressing t-shirt and everything. I put it out because I was like, I can't answer this question more than this. And एक छोटा सा reel बना के डाल देते हैं. So I can completely relate to every situation out there because my agency was also born out of COVID. Although this episode is more about you, well, maybe someday when you start your podcast, I'll be love to be a guest.
Absolutely.
Then I can answer more about it. But I can relate to everything you are saying out there. And I think every agency founder can relate to it.
Yes.
What was the point in time in your agency when you felt like I need to take a backseat, or not a backseat, I would say, you have to delegate the work and start moving towards, rather than being on the client cost and everything, to being the one who is like managing the team and everything. What was the point in time when you felt the need for it?
It wasn't a business decision. So it wasn't something that came out of, this is how my business should run, hence this is why I'm doing it. I went through a phase of depression. So I was diagnosed with clinical depression and anxiety. At which point I told my co-founder, I was like, things are off. Okay, things are not going in the right direction for me. If I keep working like this, you will not believe this, with the psychiatrist, it took me 1.5 hours for him to make me realize that my work is the problem. I was not able to accept it. I was just like, but I love what I do. I do this out of fun. I love every part of it. And then he made me realize that your body still has a capacity. Your mind still has a capacity. There is so much input and output happening out of you, which your body is not able to take care of, which your mind is not able to take care of. At that point, I was like, okay, something needs to be done. At the same point, what happened was, so pehle co-founder nahi tha. For the longest time, I ran the agency on my own. I was a solo founder.
Okay.
Then this person joined the agency who started as a graphic designer. We gave him more responsibility. He became an account manager. He started handling clients. He started doing client servicing. He was taking care of like team members and everything. And then when this episode happened, I was like, listen, I need more of your help. You need to take care of the day-to-day, and I will take care of the bigger picture things, because if I keep doing this, I will burn myself out and I will not be useful to any business, whether it's a client business or our business, right? He was very understanding about it. He was like, you know what, Pranada, you take the backseat. I will take care of everything. So I told him that we will do a pilot project of 3 months and see how it goes. Because abhi tak to sabko aadat hai na ki everything needs to be asked from me. Agar font bhi change kar rahe hain to wo mujhse pooch ke change hoga. Abhi tak sabki aadat wo hai.
Right.
So we were like, this is going to take transition time for everyone in the team also and for you also. We did a 3-month pilot project. मेरे को 1 महीने में समझ आ गया था कि ये संभाल लेगा. मुझे टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. And that's when I also saw that now once this had already happened, that's when I started realizing that all the things that I used to worry about or think about कि ये मुझसे better कोई नहीं कर सकता, या ये मैं नहीं करूँगी तो खराब हो जाएगा, it's actually not true. Like I was being a controlling person, this was just my control issues that were coming out. This was not true कि कोई और कर नहीं पाएगा, बहुत आराम से कर रहे हैं लोग. And they're taking care of it very nicely. I don't have to be bothered with everything. At the same time, I'm always there for things that need me, you know. So I think it was not a business decision, but we realized that this is a great stage at which we have taken this decision. Now it's profiting the business a lot more.
Got it. I believe university had its own plans to make you learn the things which you want to learn at the right time. Yeah. So I could relate to every decision out there. And one more thing I can relate to a lot is that when we move from employee to this business owner mindset, somewhere we open the business, but we're still in the employee mindset.
Yes.
Everything should go up from us.
Yes.
We are in a controlling mindset. And this delegation does not come to us naturally.
Yeah.
So even I used to run a lot of Facebook ads in the start of my agency. I was the one who was doing all the Facebook ads, running making the automations, doing the client calls. Slowly, somebody started delegating the Facebook ads part. And I found that person is doing better than me.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens because you're so, like, sometimes it happened with me where I was like, I would have never thought of this. मैं तो ऐसे सोचते ही नहीं जैसा इसने सोचा. तो अब I'm like, now he's doing a better job than I would have done. And in my head, my stupid brain is just like, मैं नहीं करूँगी तो अच्छे से नहीं होगा. But that realization comes later where you're like, अरे ये better कर लेगा.
Right. Same thing started happening with me. And I was like, I started giving budgets. मैंने so क्या करा कि pilot थोड़ा सा करना शुरू करा, just like how you did. I started giving कि भाई अगर मान लो 4 accounts है Facebook accounts के, तो I'll give them lowest hanging fruit कि भाई इसमें सबसे lowest budget है, कुछ fuck up हो गया तो I'll be able to handle it up. उसने अच्छा हैंडल किया, फिर दूसरा दिया, तीसरा दिया, चौथा दिया. Nowadays even I don't open ad accounts and मैंने क्या, I'm happy with it. मुझे
Yeah.
open नहीं करने हैं. I'm like done with this now. I'm completely bored out of it. Similarly automations. My team members like कि उसको मैं सब सिखाया, पहले बेसिक सिखाया. Now is like कि वो मुझसे better automation बनाता है. तो मैंने साथ नाम भी सेव कर रखा है, automations expert, Facebook ads expert. So I'm like, this is how it is. And even for the client calls, I'm looking for somebody that I understand now. Okay, I need to get out of this as well. And the perspective I'm getting from you during this podcast, something I really need to take it. क्योंकि यूनिवर्स ने ना मेरे को ऐसा अभी टूर पे भेज दिया सडनली धक्का मार के, मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि आई कांट हैंडल बोथ द थिंग्स टुगेदर. सो आई नीड टू रियली टेक दिस स्टेप समवेयर डाउन द लाइन. एंड आई थिंक as I told you, universe has its own steps. So I also went through a little bit of depression phase in the last year, because a lot of clients went away suddenly, and then I was like, what to do? Agency was almost at the verge of closing, and then I found one of the reason कि ना, the visibility is one of the angle we need to take care of, because my visibility was completely zero. Only and brand का agency का नाम भी किसी को नहीं पता था, and people even मेरे अलावा, मेरे clients अलावा मुझे कोई जानता नहीं था. That was the thing. So I realized कि ना, universe has its own plans to make sure कि you get the right lesson at the right time. And coming to this thing, how do you get clients? Is it due to your personal brand, or is it due to your company brand? How do you get more clients?
Most of them come from my personal brand. So what will happen is, a marketing manager, a brand manager, or an entrepreneur will see the content there, and then the first realization that hits them is she knows what she's talking about, right? The next immediate translation of that they do is she will be able to work for my brand. They contact me. I know that this is an agency lead, this is a Pranita lead. So there are two models in that. So for example, some brands come to us only for consultation, where they say execution हमारी in-house team करेगी, हमको सिर्फ consultation चाहिए. In that case, I don't loop in Red in the White.
Okay.
I only loop myself in. I say I'll take this project as Mad at Woman and do this will be my scope of work. Or else, if the client goes to the agency, then like without even, like I said, without even planning, without even knowing, Mad at Woman and my personal brand became the lead magnet for my agency automatically. And now we've been running the business for 5 years now. In the last 5 years, हमने 3 या 4 pitches करी होगी. हमको pitches करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती.
Oh.
Because people have already seen the content that I put out. We have a lot of work to show. So it's easier for them to place that trust in us. And they also come from another angle, right? Think about it from this perspective. जो जितना बड़ा होता है ना, उसको अपनी इज्जत खोने का उतना ज्यादा डर होता है. Right? तो अगर I am at that level, जहाँ पे, for example, let's say I'm an invisible person. ठीक है, मेरे को कोई नहीं जानता है. मैंने आपको कांटेक्ट किया, मैं बोला विकास आपकी एक ब्रांड है, आप जूते बेचते हो, मेरे साथ काम कर लो, राइट? मैं आपसे 2 लाख रुपए लेके भाग जाऊंगी, आप क्या करोगे?
कुछ भी नहीं, राइट?
आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं. लेकिन वहीं पे अगर आपको पता है कि मेरे 75,000 फॉलोअर्स है, तो मैं डरूंगी ना कि विकास मेरे बारे में क्या बोल रहा है,
राइट?
Because everything that Vikas says taints my reputation that I am putting so much work into building. So then they also have that person to hold the collar of कि क्या हुआ, क्यों नहीं हुआ. So I'm saying they don't have to reach that level, but in the beginning, we all do that analysis. Even as consumers, आप आज एक नया brand देखते हो, right? The first thing that comes to your head is, what if this brand is not legit?
Right.
But अगर मैं मिंत्रा से खरीद लूँ same brand, यही ब्रांड का कपड़ा मैं मिंत्रा से खरीद लूंगा, तो अगर वहां पे कुछ भी गड़बड़ हुई तो मिंत्रा है ना जिसकी मैं कॉलर पकड़ सकता हूँ. That's what your personal brand is doing for you. Then they know that, okay, if Pranita is big on the internet, in that situation, she would not want her reputation tainted in the agency. So they will not do anything with, they will always want the good for me. Right. So conversion becomes faster in that situation. There are clients that come to us now who come from the perspective of Pranita chahiye project pe. And then we're like, I'm going to stay on the project, but if you expect me to come on every call, then that is not going to happen. But you can be assured that everything that's going to you, I have seen it. It has gone through me. I see every creative that goes out of the agency. Every branding project, I sit on it myself. Every brand naming project, I sit on it myself. Strategy project, I sit on it myself. एक सोशल मीडिया क्रिएटिव में लोगो यहाँ से यहाँ लगाना है, मैं नहीं दिमाग लगाने वाली हूँ उसमें.
Hmm.
That does not need my attention.
Right.
Because as soon as my attention goes there, then this suffers.
Right.
So every big decision that you're taking for your brand, I'm there with you. Personally there with you. Everything else, my team is there. They will handle everything. You don't have to worry about anything. So it becomes much easier when you have a personal brand for people also to trust you and convert into clients easily.
Makes sense. I think if I have to sum up this in a short form, it's like VCP formula work by Gary Vee. Visibility, credibility, profitability. And I think that's what I'm doing now. I was like profitable, but I was credible, but I was not visible. So I'm going alternate way right now. So this is why I'm doing podcast, because I want to get more visibility out there. So my credibility increases more.
Yeah.
I was the only people who knew I was credible was my existing clients. So that's what I'm trying to go in a reverse way. But I think whatever I think happens for good. I think I'm not sure how many times I'm going to repeat this line, but universe has its own plans. And I'm thanks to universe for whatever is happening in my life. So what kind of clients do you really enjoy working with in your agency?
I think I love working with entrepreneurs. First is that I don't enjoy, we've tried working with very big clients. I don't enjoy that, honestly, because there are too many stakeholders, and at the same time, nobody's as passionate because वो सब job कर रहे हैं ना. Corporates में वो सब jobs कर रहे हैं, so they're not as passionate. But an entrepreneur really puts their heart and soul into it, and I really enjoy brand strategy projects because they completely shape how a brand is going to talk, walk, be present in front of the world. Earlier, it was only branding projects, but now I enjoy doing strategy and then branding. Those are the kind of projects that I really, really love. But industry-wise, I don't have a preference.
Got it. Makes sense. And in terms of what is the one campaign you would like to share, which you were like, this is the best campaign I've ever done, or you're like the most proud of, ये मैंने campaign, ये वाला campaign मैंने करा है.
So there was a campaign that we'd done for Go Neo.
Okay.
It's a fintech brand which does travel cards.
The Neo card?
Yes, the Neo card.
अच्छा, वो मैंने उसका बहुत लाउंज एक्सेस का फायदा उठाया.
So for that brand, we'd done a campaign called Things I Bank On. So basically, they had created characters, different kind of characters in their brand. Like, think of it as smaller mascots. And then we did a campaign around it. Things I Bank On, bank was basically a wordplay.
Okay.
Ki we're using it in the NBFC wala bank space also, but bank as in depend also.
Oh.
Ki jaise Things I Bank On, Maggie is the thing that I bank on for my 3 a.m. cravings. Portable charger is the thing I bank on for my laziness. So that is the kind of thing. And then I think it was this was before influencer marketing was a very big thing. But at the same time, we roped in influencers, there was so much organic content that went in, and this was zero paisa, no money put into advertising sort of a campaign. And I was so happy with the outcome of the campaign because how we conceptualized the campaign as a baby of ours, and then when it went out in the world, I was so happy with it. I was like, yes, this is something that I'm going to be proud of for a very long time.
Got it. And in terms of performance marketing, if I talk about, we have clear metrics out there, cost per lead,
Correct.
Leads and everything. That's how we measure the things. In terms of branding, how do you measure the performance of the campaign? As you said, this campaign you're really proud of. So there's one thing is the emotional angle. This turned out very well, everything out there. But emotions you can't measure in terms of the numbers, and clients need numbers to put the ROI to things. So how do you measure in the branding world?
So it depends on. So one is campaigns are different from branding, right? So one is you've done a rebrand, for example, right?
Yeah.
So that is a different thing. And then if you're doing a communication campaign, you're doing it for brand awareness, but that's a different thing. So first I talk about the campaign. It depends on what your basic asset is. So basic asset meaning movie hai, contest hai, kya hai? जैसे इसमें contest था. So the number of participants gave us a great idea of who these people are. How many of these people actually fall in our potential client bucket? These can be actually potential clients for the brand. So by doing this campaign, like for example, we reached out to 2,000 people. Just giving you a number, right?
Yeah.
If we reached out to 2,000 people, now these 2,000 people who are specifically perfect for the brand, we would have taken X amount of money to reach to these 2,000 people with our ads, right? But because we did this campaign, we reached these 2,000 people at X by 4.
Okay.
So then you know that you got the same result, but at 1/4 the cost. So one is that. Second is campaigns के पहले और बाद में brand surveys होते हैं.
Okay.
So there are like surveys done with like 10,000, 20,000 people who fall in that age group, who fall in that demographic of the brand. And then they are asked several questions about the brand to measure the success of a campaign or even a rebranding project for that matter.
Okay, but how do you guys do surveys in terms of performance marketing? We use send out Google Forms out there to the audience.
So there are different ways of doing it. There can be focus group surveys. There can also be person interview surveys. There can be telephonic interview surveys. There can also be people, like we reach out to a group of people and we tell them that this is the amount of money that we will pay to you to be in this survey for 6 months, for example.
Oh.
So that's how we conduct. It's a very very aggressive sort of an exercise and very hands-on.
Got it. So anybody can part of the surveys, or is it like anybody, a layman person can be part of the surveys? Or
Layman people are only part of the surveys.
Oh, okay.
It's not for marketers.
Got it. I just going out of the context right now because I'm like, I also do, there's a website called User Crowd where I do some service for like for UI, UX, or sometimes some performance marketing things come in. And I make some side bucks out of it. I enjoy doing it. It's a side bucks which I just for a few minutes.
Yeah.
That's a personal question. I would like, how do somebody, a layman, gets to be a part of these surveys?
These are not surveys that you can access by yourself. These only the brand can give you this opportunity.
And how do they? How do you fall into? How do you get visible to them?
So, for example, a lot of times we run ads also.
Okay.
कि जैसे we will run an ad for lookalike audience. ये brand के पास already audience है. इसका हमने lookalike create किया. इस lookalike को दिखाओ और उनको बोलो कि उन्होंने सुना है क्या brand के बारे में.
Okay.
वो क्या सोचते हैं brand के बारे में.
And what are the platforms you guys use for it?
For surveys?
Yeah.
So it again depends on what kind of survey are we doing.
Okay.
Like sometimes it's Google Meet also, sometimes it's a phone call also, sometimes it's a face to face also.
Got it. Yeah, I just want to run ads, then what does it lead to actually?
It just leads to them showing us that they're interested in doing this survey. And then let's say out of the 10,000 people who have applied, according to their demographics and according to the data that we've gotten from them, we select, let's say, 1,000 people for that particular survey.
Got it. Makes sense. Actually, it was of so much personal interest that I went deeper into it. Yeah, I was coming back to the topics out there. So the thing is, how do you manage your personal brand and agency together? I think you shared some light on it, but does it sometimes feel like one thing is taking more of a balance right now and till date also? Or does it happen like this is taking more of my time, this is taking lesser of my time, and to focus more on this, and then this is getting disbalanced? Does it happen till today also?
So I'll tell you earlier what I used to do before Arif took the reins and then started handling most of the day-to-day stuff. I'm a to-do list person. And I'm a writing person. I'm not I can't do to-do list on a laptop.
Okay.
I have to physically write in my notebook. So my notebook is like an A4 notebook. I would divide, pull one line in the middle. Here I would write Mad at Woman. Here I would write Red in the White. And then assign myself tasks. Ki aaj ye karna hai. And then be like, okay, if I've done X amount of work for Mad at Woman, that Y amount of work also needs to be done for Red in the White. Otherwise it's not fair. So I used to track it like that pehle.
Okay.
So that, both get my attention equally without कि ऐसा नहीं हो कि मैंने ध्यान नहीं दिया और मुझे पता ही नहीं चल रहा कि एक कहीं चला गया है. Like it shouldn't be too late before I realize it.
Right.
Now I do it basis how much the agency needs me. So all the other time is mine for Mad at Woman, and we're also starting a new lifestyle brand. So a lot of time goes into that as well. But now it's more about, most of the time is about content and, taking workshops and all of this. But whenever the agency needs me, I'm there. So abhi jaise we're hiring graphic designers. So I sat through 1,200 applications of graphic designers and, marked them red and yellow and green and blue according to what I thought about them. And then now Arif is doing the interview part. Sometimes we do it ulta. He will do the shortlisting, I will do the interview part. Sometimes I will go for an interview, sometimes I will not go for an interview. So like that, I judge it basis how much the agency needs me and how much which business needs me at what time. Because if there are 3 different businesses, then I have to manage my time accordingly and also get some time for myself. Otherwise, I'll burn out.
Right. And I think you're married, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So then how do you manage your work life and marriage life at the same time?
It becomes very easy because I have a 7 o'clock out time with work unless I have a class.
Okay.
So classes happen, like abhi classes happen twice in a week. So only on those 2 days I'm busy 9 to 12. Otherwise, at night after 7 I'm free.
Got it. And do you work on all 7 days or do you have specific days off as well?
Monday to Friday is my most working day. Saturday, Sunday is off for the agency. So that side is completely gone. कि agency का तो कुछ काम नहीं होता है Saturday, Sunday को.
Got it.
Because सबकी छुट्टी होती है. तो then I'm like, okay, what can I do? Is there content to shoot? वो कर लेती हूँ. Edit करना है क्या? कुछ ही कर लेती हूँ. So then I manage my time like that.
Got it. I need to really work upon this. मैं 5 साल से छुट्टी नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ.
नहीं, because I realize कि अगर मैं ये करूँगी ना तो मैं ज़्यादा दिन नहीं टिक पाऊँगी.
Got it. Maybe मतलब I try to take a holiday. I'm trying to fix Wednesdays my holiday. And कोई ना कोई मीटिंग आके फंसी जाती है. वहाँ जाना ही पड़ता है. Then my brother told me try Thursdays. So now Thursday is working better. But अभी travel पे निकला तो अभी तो कोई Thursday Monday को सही नहीं. हाँ. And my industry is like we work on Sundays and Mondays more. Because we are into coaching industry. Sunday को सारे webinars होते हैं. Sunday webinar होते हैं, Monday को reporting होती है. So for me, Sunday is like more of a Monday. And Wednesday, Thursday is like the little load goes off.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Makes sense. So what's your advice to somebody who is also building their personal brand and the agency at the same time?
Only do it if you have someone at the agency to take care of the major stuff. If you are involved in both, दोनों suffer करेंगे.
Okay.
And agency is a business. जब वो suffer करता है ना तो उसको वापस regurgitate करने में बहुत time लगता है. Like if you are at a verge where you're like बंद करना पड़ेगा business, उसको वापस normalcy पे लाने में 6 महीना 8 महीना साल भर कभी-कभी 3 साल भी लग जाते हैं. So only do it when like personal brand पे focus on. So one is a lot of people talk about consistency from the perspective कि रोज एक वीडियो डालना है, रोज कुछ करना है. Choose your own consistency.
Okay.
अगर आप महीने में एक कर पा रहे हो, आप महीने में एक करो. At least get yourself comfortable with the camera, with the audience, with the trolling, with all of that. थोड़ा थोड़ा करके करोगे ना तो आपका एजेंसी साइड भी मैनेज रहेगा, एट द सेम टाइम आपका पर्सनल ब्रांड भी मैनेज रहेगा. और क्योंकि द अर्ज इज what happens is we as human beings ना are looking for that big thing to do. कि मैं एक बड़ा स्टेप लूंगा और उससे सब चेंज हो जाएगा. ठीक है. 99% of the time that step goes in the wrong direction only. Because you're not thinking it through.
Right.
आप सोच रहे हो कि मैं आज कंटेंट बनाऊंगा और फिर सब ठीक हो जाएगा. बट ऐसे नहीं होता है ना. आपको पता है कि कंटेंट आपका चलता रहेगा. एट द सेम टाइम आपको एजेंसी पे भी ध्यान देना है. देयर आर थिंग्स दैट लाइक व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट इट प्रैक्टिकली, दैट्स व्हेन देयर इज अ बेटर चांस ऑफ इट वर्किंग रादर देन ऑलवेज थिंक अबाउट इट इमोशनली.
Makes sense. You're very bold and authentic in terms of your voice when you put out content, and I've seen like some of your content have gone viral because of the kind of boldness you've shown in this content. So how do you get that courage कि भाई सह लेंगे, कुछ आएगा तो देख लिया जाएगा? How do you get that courage from into posting such content?
I don't think I have that problem because also see, the thing is I'm a edtech creator. I'm an education creator, right? So the hatred that I get is any day less than the hatred that a woman on the internet gets in general.
Okay.
मतलब a woman on the internet who's putting herself out as a fashion creator, as a lifestyle creator is facing much worse issues. I am facing not even 1/100th of that. The first is the hatred that comes to me is not very personal. Okay? Because if I'm giving you, if I'm saying that this is not good, you should not buy this, this will ruin your house, this table, okay? You will the max that you can say is that I'm a stupid person. Right? But you will not go into my personality, you will not like the things that can actually trigger me, you will not go there.
Right.
So I know कि आप max मेरे को stupid बुला लोगे ना.
Okay.
This is something that I'm confident about. I'm confident about my number of years of experience. I'm confident about the jobs that I've done. I'm confident about the work that I've done. उसके बारे में आप कुछ बोलोगे मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. It's a wall thing. As soon as things start getting personal, it becomes more about maybe this person is going through something and that's why they're doing it. So I'm trying to train myself to think like this. And with this training now, what has happened is bad comments don't affect me. At the same time, good comments also don't affect me. So if you say I'm a great creator, I will not believe you. If you say I'm a shit creator, I will not believe you. If you give me constructive criticism, that's when you have my attention and you're listening. So those bold statements, I think I'm in a very privileged space to be able to make those bold statements, because the content that I have a very niche content. Only people who understand advertising, marketing, copywriting will be here. I will not get like anyone and everyone on the internet, right? So that, and secondly, I think I've always had a very strong support system in terms of everyone around me. Like whether it's my brother or my parents, my husband, all of these people are so far away from the content world that as soon as I turn the camera off, like if I'm shooting something, as soon as I turn the camera off and go outside, it's all like everyone's life is unaffected. So I'm able to see कि इससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है. इस comment से actually मेरी life में कोई tangible difference create नहीं हुआ है. So it becomes much easier. I think I'm in a much more privileged space to be able to make those bold statements, to be able to say something that I'm very confident about. But at the same time, I also know that I have boundaries for myself. I will not say something controversial just for the sake of saying something controversial. That's just not who I am.
That makes sense. And I think you didn't just last one paragraph what you told, or 5-6 lines you told. There were multiple lessons out of it. One was be empathetic. That if somebody is saying something to you, they might be going through something else. Then your environment matters a lot. That you said ki if you move out of your room, from the camera to the just outside world, nobody gives a shit about what you're talking about. If there's something happening, okay, वो छोटी सी audience है जो gossip कर रही है, let them do it. And I think one thing also is you have figured out what's the worst case scenarios.
Yes.
Before you do something, you have figured out worst case scenarios, what is there. And fourth thing which I think you said in the start was you have made it relatable. Sorry, not relatable. I would say comparison. कि भाई मेरे से ज़्यादा किसी की प्रॉब्लम है, मेरी प्रॉब्लम बहुत ही कम है. तो यू सी मेरे मम्मी हमेशा कहती हैं कि अगर कभी ज़्यादा दुख हो रहा देखो कोई तेरे से ज़्यादा दुखी कौन है, तो तेरा दुख अपने कम लगेगा. That's the thing. And when we compare with people, I think we should compare in this manner, in a positive manner. And when you grow big, then you see कि कौन मुझसे ज़्यादा कमा रहा है, कौन मुझसे ज़्यादा value add कर रहा है. Then that give you a positive inspiration rather than getting jealous. Get the inspiration from them. Correct. But when you're in the downside, see भाई somebody is even down than you.
Absolutely. When you want motivation, you look at someone who's over you. When you're down in the dumps, you look at people who are downer than you.
Yeah.
It always helps.
Yeah, and I think this whole this one just last part of the discussion was like the aha moment. एक के बाद एक sixer that was a kind of moment. So I think we'll move to the last segment of this podcast. That is the rapid fire.
Okay.
One word for mad at woman.
Bold.
One word for red in the white.
Passionate.
What's one strong opinion you have about marketing that people might disagree with?
One strong opinion about marketing.
Or you can even take branding for, let's say.
I think the passion that people had while doing branding, marketing, advertising is getting reduced and is dying.
Okay. Any reason you think behind this? What is happening there?
No, it's a natural transition. Earlier, work was everyone's entire life. Now people are moving more towards there's more to life than work. So this was bound to happen, and it's a good thing that it's happening. Because earlier, everyone used to connect their self-worth only to their work. Now I'm seeing more and more people not doing that.
Got it. This gives me a very, very profound lesson. I think whenever we ask somebody, who are you? They'll give their titles rather than who they are as a person.
Yeah.
Everybody had become a title before COVID. I'm ex-manager of this company. I'm
Correct.
this person. I'm this person. Now people are moving towards finding who they are actually.
Yes.
Apart from their work. What is
Yes.
their identity apart from the work?
Yes.
That makes sense.
I think this happened with a client of mine. Okay, so you know how, for example, if you have to save my number, you will either save it as Pranita Mad at Woman or Pranita Red in the White. Okay, or let's say I work at Apple, you will save my number as Pranita Apple. Basically, what you're doing is substituting my identity, substituting so a surname basically says where you come from, right? So you're substituting that to where I work right now. So a client of mine and I were having this discussion because we had both saved each other's number like that, and we were like, this is so weird that all of us do this.
Got it. I was actually reading one of the books by Zig Ziglar. It's called Happiness. Something is by Happiness, where their short stories are there. And he actually shared an example where he was boarding a flight, and when we board a flight, there's the boarding pass is actually scanned in a way, and the person who was on the airport said ki seat C5 is here. Rather than saying Zig Ziglar is here, they say C5 is here. I don't remember what was seat number exactly was there, but that is the thing. He said, I'm just a seat number to you. Am I just a seat number rather than being an actual person? Am I just a seat number to you? And he said ki people are, and this is something I was able to relate with. Similarly, he said ki these days people are becoming more like just a, let's say, even when a lead comes in.
Yes.
It's the lead.
A lead.
It's a lead. It's not a person.
Yes.
And I actually made a post around it. I made a post around it. Whenever a client comes to you, into coaching industry, they're coming with a lot of aspirations and things you'll be helping out them with. It's not just a lead for you. It's somebody who is a real person out there. It's just a name, name, email, and phone number is there. But it's the actual person who took the effort to fill in your lead form and then hoping that whatever he's going to attend your webinar or something is going to help them in their life. So it's not just a lead, it's actually a person out there. So you need to really take care of those persons. Yeah. That makes sense.
And it's so weird that this happens in corporate now, because you know where it started from? It starts from the prison. So basically, in a prison, you're not Vikas. You're Kaidi number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? That's where the concept starts from. And it's bizarre to think that it's there in our corporate life right now, like in our work lives.
Yeah, even every day, even I have seen a contact this way only.
Yeah. It's so weird, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like it's so bizarre to think that it started from there and this is where we're applying that concept right now.
Makes sense. I think we'll shoot another whole episode on this and on the psychology someday. But moving on to the next question I have, is just a small fill in the blank. Being mad at women means?
Being crazy and delusional.
What exactly delusion means? I'm very poor at this word in English. I just want to know what delusion means.
So delusional is basically not being in check with your reality, right? And I have started believing that that's the only way to be. What does reality do? Reality puts brakes on you, right? So for example, if you start thinking even in your dreams, right? Even as an aspiration or as a goal, if you start thinking कि इस महीने 20 podcast कर दूंगा, right? Immediately reality will strike and be like, पागल है क्या? 20 कैसे करेगा? नहीं होंगे 20. कौन मिलेगा? कौन आएगा पॉडकास्ट पे? स्टूडियो कैसे मैनेज करेगा? पैसे कैसे मैनेज करेगा? ट्रैवल कैसे मैनेज? Your reality will start doing that to you, right?
Right.
Being delusional is completely being out of that. कि क्यों नहीं कर सकते? 20 कर तो सकते हैं, क्या प्रॉब्लम? आराम से कर सकते हैं. I think that's the only way to be. I just yesterday, I told you I was in Bombay, right?
Yeah.
Went to the award show. Yeah. I'll tell you how this entire thing started. There are places like Mad Over Marketing, there are, companies like Social Samosa, Social Media Dissect, these already existed.
Yeah.
Right? In the marketing world, this is a big, these are big entities that already exist. My mentor one day called me and said, I want to start this page called Good Ads Matter. I said, okay. And said, I'm going to curate. I said, sir, what will you do with curation? Everyone's doing curation. इतना मतलब वो already exhausted market है. वहाँ पे इतने बड़े-बड़े players बैठे हैं. आप क्या करोगे? He was like, नहीं, I'm going to do like good ads and it's going to be video ads.
Okay.
I said, okay, ठीक है. अब मतलब then I'm like, कि हाँ कर लो, आपको whatever help you need, you tell me. He put a team together. Before even launching this, he worked on it for months. Right? Which curators don't do. Curators मतलब कुछ भी उठा के डाल देते हैं. Right? He put this entire thing together. Good Ads Matter became like a huge community because they kept putting content after content and great content, right? All of this happened. One day I was speaking to him and he called me to ask for like, how do you monetize and what are you doing right now? What would you suggest and all of that? We're talking. And in my head, I'm thinking कि ये आदमी कितना delusional होगा to think that he can do this, and he has done this. And I went to the award show. कोई award announce हुआ. And McCann had won that award for some TV spot. ठीक है? And the announcer said, is there anyone here from McCann? Prasoon Joshi got up and went to the stage. And I was like, I am in the same room with Prasoon Joshi right now. And it's like in India, being in a room with like him or even, people like Piyush Pandey and everyone, it's like being in the room with David Ogilvy. So I'm like, you have to be delusional to be able to do this now. Today, Good Ads Matter is such a big property. They pulled out such a great award show. Only delusion can do that. So I think being crazy and delusional is the only way to be. कि क्यों नहीं कर सकते यार? Of course कर सकते हैं. Whatever, like I तो believe today कि whatever I put my mind to, I can do.
Right. Even I believe this. I think the example you took was my example only. Shooting like 10 episodes in a podcast. Because I think almost the 10th episode. 2 I was guest. So it was like an 8th episode we were shooting for my channel out there. And it happened just when this is April 2025 I got the idea. And today is 1st June when we are shooting this. And I've already shot. All this is the 10th episode being shot actually.
Yeah. And think about it. If you were realistic about it, would you have ever done this?
No, actually.
If someone, for example, someone from your team came to you today, you have not done any of this, came to you today and pitched you this plan, you would tell them na कि भाई ये plan सही है, but realistic नहीं है ये. Right? But because you were delusional, you were just letting the universe take the, leap with it, and you were ready to take that leap and you were ready to give it the strings. Things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I never thought in wildest dream कि मतलब learning from you in March and then suddenly I'll be podcasting you someday.
It's delusion only यार, और कुछ नहीं है.
Absolutely. Makes sense. So I'll just ask my last question out there. What is one thing you're still figuring out?
I think I'm still figuring out to be more at peace with myself. Like I beat myself up a lot in terms of why have you not done this? Why is this not happening? Why have you not done this? अभी तक ये भी क्यों नहीं हुआ? अभी तक ये क्यों नहीं हुआ? I think I need to be at more peace with myself. And this is happening after I told you. You remember I told you कि मैंने ये सब नहीं सोचा था. In my wildest dreams also, I had not thought of all of this. This still happened, but I'm still beating myself up about things. So I think I'm just figuring out how to be at more peace with myself and how to be more acceptable towards myself. Like
Makes
more
sense.
accepting.
I think this is a problem with every entrepreneur out there. There's no book there. If you see, there's my own book there. I never thought I'll write a book.
You're not too young.
Yeah. So I never thought I'll write a book. I never thought that I'll be podcasting, starting my own podcast out there. I never thought I'll be traveling to 3 different cities in the last 30 days without a return ticket on being on my name. So that's happening. So I think it's probably all the entrepreneurs out there. And I still beat myself up today. Ki, yaar, itni sari leads, I got so many network out there. Why I'm not able to meet them? I'm not able to close their deals. I can absolutely relate to it. So I think one more last question out there. What is the one piece of advice you'd like to give all the young marketers out there who might be watching this episode out there? What is the one piece of advice you'd like to give them?
Expand your frame of reference. What I mean by that is, if everyone is saying Zomato is the best, try to read a lot more to get a different opinion or a more broader opinion. Don't just sell yourself in the sense of, today this is your opinion, I heard you, so now this is my opinion. add your personality to that. Otherwise, there is no scope in marketing. That's the only way to exist in marketing, having your own opinion.
Got it. Makes sense. I think this was the most lovely episode I had because this was the only episode I think I did in my own industry in a way right now. So I could ask a lot of personal questions out there. Should have charged me a bomb out there if I would have asked. Would a consultation call with her. But it was lovely having you here. And thank you for
so
taking
much.
out time of your busy schedule.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great episode, and I'm very excited to see how it comes out.
Yeah. And to my audience, I would say, in case you want to have a second episode shot with her, put a lot of questions out there and we'd love to answer them in the comments box. And if required, then I'll travel to Jaipur again to shoot another episode.
I will do another podcast. I'm sure. If you put down more questions, I will definitely do this again.
Awesome. Thanks for watching this episode and subscribe for more such episodes out there.
थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग द होल पॉडकास्ट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, अगर आपके चैनल को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं करा है तो सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए ताकि वी कैन ब्रिंग मोर एंड मोर वैल्यूएबल गेस्ट ऑन द पॉडकास्ट. सेकंड थिंग इज, अगर आपको कोई फीडबैक्स हो, सजेशंस हो, प्लीज पुट देम इन द कमेंट बॉक्स एंड ऑल्सो शेयर कीजिए कि आपको कौन से नेक्स्ट गेस्ट देखने हैं पॉडकास्ट पर. एंड द थर्ड थिंग इज, अगर आपको वैल्यू मिली हो इस पॉडकास्ट से तो शेयर विद समबडी जिससे आपको लगता है इस पॉडकास्ट को देख के हेल्प होगी. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.